Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to Robocraft and the dawn of the Megabots update. As you can see, some things have changed, namely flags, hollow flags, actual flags now, not just badges. The flag had to be moved because it used to sit in there, which it could do nice and snugly, but now it's got this weird hollow hook thing going on that didn't play nice with the shields. But much has changed. So much has gone live in this update. In fact, it's going to be hard to go over even the smallest bit of it. But the new Megabot tier has landed. You'll notice down in the bottom right, we've got TX1. That is the tier of the Megabots. If you're in TX1, you are defined as a Megabot. You cannot get into TX1 with 1511 CPU, which is the maximum you can get normally. You need to achieve, you would need more to achieve a high enough rank to go into TX1. The only way to do this is with the Mega Seat. The tech tree has changed a fair chunk, but the Mega Seat, all the way down here, requires 496 tier 10 tech points to unlock, and this effectively increases your maximum CPU by 5, but that is multiplies it by 5. So, if you had maximum CPU because you were at max level, which is 1511, then this would give you 7555, which is enough CPU to pull your bot into the Megabot status. If we have a look at it, it costs 1 million RP to buy it, or the equivalent of 10 tier 10 SMGs. It doesn't have any particular armor or anything like that, but then I guess the seats don't. Now, I will be kind of spotty with going over the update because, frankly, there's so much that has been released with this update. I don't even think I'm going to get to most of it, but I'll try and cover some parts as we go. Now, the electroplates, we've got electroplates and rudders and aerofoils have been pulled down a little bit. Electroplates back in tier 2. I miss these electroplates, honestly. They're a nice little shape. For very basic bots, they work quite well, and I've clearly got enough tech points to just go ahead and unlock them all. But I am sure quite a lot of you are specifically interested in these. These are the rotor blades, or helicopter blades, if you prefer. Now, they start in tier 5, go all the way up to tier 10. Also, there's a few other things that have been moved around. The helium's been moved up to that top area. There is also a Megabot tier of armor. Now, I believe that just takes tier 10 tech points, about 145 each to unlock. Now, the thing with them is, yes, they offer a little bit more armor than the tier 10 cubes, but they cost 3 times as much in terms of CPU to place. And they also have quite a huge ranking as well, but they are much, much lighter, like crazy lighter. So I imagine you really would want to be building your Megabots out of these instead of these, but I mean, you'd be able to keep your mass fairly low. And if you really, really wanted to make a highly, heavily protected but light bot, then these would be the ones to go to. Even though they're going to cost 3 times as much, and they're not nearly 3 times as protective, they are much lighter. Now, we have got rotor blades. Now, these allow you to make helicopters. I have no idea because this is... I literally preserved my wonderment at the new patch for this recording. This is obviously recorded on the 20th of February. The patch was released on the 18th, but I'd already pre-recorded some stuff, so I didn't want to jump in until the time arrived. But I'm seeing all this for the first time. I really don't know what to expect. But we're going to go ahead and unlock as high up as we can go. All the way through 7 and 8. We can't quite do 9. That's fine. Now let's have a quick look. They've got a CPU 34 P-flops, robo ranking, whatever it's going to be. The armor, but it doesn't tell us really how much it can lift. Now I'm assuming the higher tier rotor blades are responsible for lifting much heavier loads. Now, from what I understand, these have a lower height limit than the regular, than just regular aerofoils, but you can combine them. And Solenops Invicta, your garage is going to be repurposed for now. It will be under construction for the time being. But we're going to play around in here. We're going to try and design ourselves something with the new rotor blades, if, in fact, I can afford to buy any of them. Let's go and check. How much are you? That's quite respectable. That's not much at all. Oh, we could buy a couple of them. We won't, but we could. Let's go for a middle tier bot to start with. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy 5 of these. I very much doubt we're going to need 5 of those. We've already got a bunch of steering skis. We've already got a bunch of these as well. We should be good. Okay. Now, I'm going to try and just put something fairly simple together in, well, use our tier 6 cubes simply because we have a lot of them. But we are going to be testing out the rotor blades in this episode. I fancy finding out exactly how these things work. So we'll make our little seat here, get rid of you. We are going to want, where are you? 1 pilot seat, please. There we go. Now, I'm honestly just wondering how these work to start with. So how about, okay, can I put them? I can, okay. I doubt this is going to lift me up though, but it might take me forward, I don't know. No, let's try and be a little bit more serious with this. As amusing as that did make me chuckle, the idea of just having these rotor blades on the side and just driving around on rotor blades. No. Let's just do something very simple to start with. We'll just pop this on top, and then I'm going to jump straight into the practice arena. Now, this is the other thing. You've got challenge mode and you've got Megabots. Megabots are something quite different. 1 Megabot against the many. Challenge mode is 4 high tiers versus 12 low tiers, with 1 Megabot versus a full team of other robots. Megabots basically take what the old boss battles were and make them Megabot exclusive, whereas the challenge mode is now open to tiers 6 and up. So it's much lower than it previously was. It was tier 8, but that is against 12 lower tiers. So I would say that this is probably closer to what the older boss mode was, with just a couple of changes. Now, there will always be 4 bosses, or rather 4 high tiers in this battle. If you're not in a platoon, it'll put you in one. It'll just find 4 people to put on your team, as the normal matchmaking goes. But this one, you will be flat out on your own. So bear that in mind. Now, let's see how this goes. Can I move around with it? What I'm wondering is how exactly can I just go up? Yes, I can. Okay. That's kind of cool. And if I stop, will it stop me? Oh, that's fantastic. I don't fall. It hovers. Oh, look at this. This is glorious. This is actually quite glorious. What just happened over there? I have no idea, but I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, I'm very happy with this. Turning, gonna be a bit of an issue. In fact, I'm going down. Why? No, take off, you fool. That's a bit better. No, calm down. Do I turn? Yes, I do. Okay, I just need to turn around and my bot will try to turn around where it's facing. Okay. That makes sense. And it looks like if I just try to tilt to the side too much, it will eventually pull me over in certain situations. But okay, now I have a little bit of an idea of how this is going to work. I've got some ideas of how I can build a bot. Now we could go with the traditional kind of helicopter design, but that would just be frankly boring. Let's be honest, there's nothing interesting about that. Let's try and make something interesting. I do like the idea of having this as a small vessel, though. I mean, this has only put me in tier 3. If I place this on top, what does that put me into? It still actually only puts me in tier 3. You could make a tier 3 helicopter. That's frightening, honestly. With some weapons, you could have a very, very ultra basic little helicopter there. I don't think that you probably should. I don't think it would really be a help to anyone. Now let's do that on this side as well. This will be our little cockpit, though, and I guess I kind of am subconsciously, or maybe even consciously, building a helicopter design, but I want something a little bit more interesting. We want to build out some limbs on this side. I think we'll have our rotor blades on the side rather than just flatter on top. Not necessarily pointing to the sides, but just kind of suspended outwards a little bit. There we go. Though this does beg the question, how does this deal with things getting thrown off a little bit by exploding components? That might be something we need to check. If you lose a couple of hover blades, then all of a sudden everything gets crazy difficult to manage. But is that also the case with the rotor blades? Or are they a little bit more resilient to damage? Let's build this out. We want some... Are we going to make a plasma bomber? We could do, I suppose. I'm wondering actually how stable this would be for rails. That is a question I wouldn't mind getting the answer for. Alright, let's get our hover blades. Oh, I see. That's going to be a bit of a pain. Or not. Maybe it won't. Very well. I accept. Can I have 3? Oh, okay. It's kind of interesting. Not really what I want, though. Oh, can I not have that one there? Ah, okay. Maybe I'm going to have that one there. I mean, I could put a rudder out here. I'm not sure. Perhaps a rudder would be useful. I don't like having that there. But let's test out the rail guns, because they typically tend to not deal with hovers too well. Is that going to be the case with this? Or is this going to make for a stable platform for rails? If it does, then oh my lord, I can imagine like tier 3 and 4 are just going to be peopled with people who've made little rail helicopters. I pity the fools who are trying to play in the low tiers if that's the case. Alright, let's have a look at you then. How stable will this be? Right, with 2, we've got... Oh, I like that. With the 2 of them, this does move around quite nicely. Okay. Let's just hold with there. How close? Oh, it doesn't. It never settles. Okay, so it's not going to be that useful for rails then. I mean, you've got some accuracy. Oh, I like the fact that we've got new training bots. Yeah. The accuracy is terrible on it. Okay, well that's actually a good thing. Now there have been some adjustments to rails and in fact to SMGs. And SMGs, the adjustments that have been made to them has decreased their accuracy at long range. It's really focused now, the role of the SMG into short, close quarters combat effectively. Even more so than it was previously. Let's get over here and spin this around just a tad. There we go. We've got some nice shapes going on here. I'm thinking, given that SMGs are not going to be that useful at long range, we probably want to go with a plasma setup, I would say. We'll set up a nice little bit of... some nice shapes on the ends of these wings there, but I think some plasmas in here would be a perfect fit. Let's find something... we want tier 5, because ultimately I want to take this into tier 5. Again, I don't like the idea of using this in any tier below 5, because you can't have these weapons... these components, you can't unlock them outside of tier 5. So, yeah, we'll actually build this out, shall we? Like so. And in fact, we can do this. Drat. Not quite good enough. Going to need to extend this out by another 2, I fancy. There we go. And then build this up. Oh, actually I've taken it 1 too far. My bad. There we go. And build that there. Then we can have another plasma just down here. Now that, to me, is probably a suitable enough vehicle to get out there, but would probably get broken as soon as someone looked at it the wrong way. So, let's see if we can't get these rotor blades. Oh, really? Still no? How about here? Yes, finally. Though, that said, I wonder, how would this work if I put this on the end like that? Let's go and have a quick look. This is completely new to me, so I'm enjoying finding out. Because with the other modes of locomotion, the walker legs, even when they were brand new, you still more or less had an idea of how to use it. Where am I going now? Oh, what? Okay. And forward. And up. Okay, it still responds normally. I don't actually think that rotor blade at the back there is really doing anything for me. But I quite like this whole idea. Oh, I see. The blades themselves are pitching as I decide which direction I want to move in. That's pretty cool. But I don't think having that little rotor blade at the back is actually helping me in any way. I do like having the redundancy of having it there for an upward force, but I think it's just purely looks at that point. But we're going to build it out so that we can get that built properly at the back here. So we want that there. And then we want to just build this out like so. That actually works out quite well in a way because it matches all of the others. Okay, so we've got 3 rotors, we've got 4 plasmas. We're only just in tier 5. We could happily add more plasmas to keep expanding into tier 5. You know what, let's add you directly under the rotor blades. And then actually have you guys either side like this. I'm going to need to buy more. Very well. Actually, have I got any of my tier 6s? I do, in fact, have a bunch of tier 6s. Yes, okay. Let's see what we can do with these. We'll tier it up slightly with weapons. We could have some tier 6s at the front. Wow, we are actually making a bit of a gunship here. I'm liking where this is going. Liking it quite a lot. Yeah, we'll continue with the sort of fins here. And we'll actually pull that back. Grab some shaped blocks. Give it a nice little look there underneath. Take this back as well. Yeah, we'll just add on some embellishments at this point. We'll actually pull this back slightly. There we go. That's quite nice. And give it a bit of a beak. Fantastic. Okay, we're still in tier 5. I'm actually quite amazed by that. Okay, well, given that then, let's add some more embellishments as well. Because what would one of my bots be if it lacked embellishments? A phony is the answer. We want 2 of these. Get ourselves a nice windowed cockpit there. Damn it, Tetras. Clearly, I've not been building enough proper cockpits because I lack the materials. There we go. Okay, yeah, I really like this. Now, we could add some extra components. We've got some electroplates that we could tack on, maybe. That would interfere with far too many parts, unfortunately. How about you? You wouldn't, interestingly enough. Back here, you probably would. I'm fairly certain there's no way we're going to be able to... Oh, we could? Really? We could add these electroplates at the back? Fairly certain we're going to lack the... yeah, with all of these tier 6 guns down there, we're going to lack the ability to add those. But I think sacrificing some of the tier 6 guns in order to have more of those types of weapons is entirely fair. Sorry, more of the electroplates is entirely fair. Let's go ahead and buy ourselves some more tier 5 plasma launchers. There we are. I'm happy to bring this all the way down to just basic tier 5 weapons in order to have those extra electroplates there. Could we do anything with shielding? Kinda could. Sort of. Like I can have shields there, but I'm not sure about that. At the same time, there's really not much point in me bringing the forward shields down, so... No, this seems okay. Actually, could I possibly have this angled in that direction in some way? Oh, I could have it forward. Yeah, alright. That seems reasonable. It isn't going to get the most protection from the bottom there, but still, no, that's okay. I'm liking this so far. This certainly has a charm to it. Can we add some... Oh, we can add embellishments. Well, I may have to redesign some of that in order to capitalize on those embellishment opportunities. Now then, we want to add just a few special components, namely a radar. That is going to be in the way, isn't it? Well, drat, damn and blast. How about if I sneak that down there? Oh, that's fantastic. But I'm going to have to make some slight adjustments in order to accommodate that. But it should be fine. There we go. So we've tucked our radar in a little bit. This has actually come together quite well. I am reasonably impressed. And we'll connect these there and there. I don't think we need more than just that little radar there, honestly. We don't need anything else. I'm pretty happy with this as is. Now, realistically, I'm fairly certain this is just going to get shot out of the sky because I've not really put any effort into tanking it up. But as a gun platform, maybe it's going to be okay. You never know. It is in tier 6, though. So let's pull that back just slightly and go for a basic radar. Just a little bit of an ability to spy our enemies will do for me. We'll have a couple of these as well. Okay, we won't have too many. That'll do. Okay, right, the last thing then. We need vapor trails. What would my bots be without vapor trails? And after that, in fact, yeah, let's have them on the wings. That's pretty good. Ah, fantastic. The hollow flag. We've got the gold dev supporter flag. Do we not have the breach badge anymore? I know that the breach thing was taken away, but I was hoping that we still kept the flags, or rather the badges, but apparently no. Ah, I am a little bit disappointed with that. Unless they're on one of my other bots. Let's have a quick look. Have any of my bots got that flag on it? The breach badges? It's going to be easy for me to tell now. Oh my lord, I need to fix these flags so bad. Calzai, have you got the breach badges? No, they may have been taken out. The breach Easter egg has been fully removed at this point, which it's a little bit sad, honestly. That's like a bit of Robocraft lore right there. But oh well. I guess it wouldn't be fair to remove it and thus make it impossible for new players to get hold of it. But oh, I liked the breach badge. Now, as a bomber, we don't really want to be obvious, but again, flying the colors must be done. Also, can we have that there? Oh, that's fantastic. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, this is glorious. Absolutely glorious. Okay, this bot, well, given that it can move around fairly agile, it can probably it can fly backwards from what we've seen. We shall name this the hummingbird. Okay, hummingbird. Let's take you out quickly for a practice, and then we're going to jump into our first battle. And we'll see how how my experimentation has gone. Okay, let's take off. Where are my flags? There we go, my flags. Wow, those, what kind of shenanigans are they? The flags are moving with the wind. I mean, I approve, but what? That's moving in slightly a different way than I was expecting. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm alright with this. I guess that does create quite a nice little display for anyone beneath me. Which is hopefully where everyone is going to be, because I need to kill them. There we go. What on... Is that a Megabot in the practice arena? I think it may be. Wow, fair play. There's a lot more choice to the bots down here. My flags are getting in the way of me shooting things. That's not going to be good. The little star there shows that this is, in fact, a Megabot. Now, Megabots, whilst they are the only ones that can go into the Megabot battles, you can have Megabots in regular fights. There will only be one Megabot on each team, and if there is a Megabot in the battle, then there will be one Megabot on each team. That is, it's either 0 or 2. You're not going to have a team which has got this massive tactical advantage because they're the only team with a Megabot. That just flat out won't happen. But they can represent a significant amount of combat strength in your fleet. Or on your side, I should say. Now, the thing with the Megabots that I've been told, they cause a bit of lag. Now, overall, the game has had a huge improvement to the way it draws models and all of that kind of stuff, and the lag and FPS have all improved enormously. That I can already see. But in the battles, I've yet to encounter a Megabot. Again, I haven't actually played this since the patch landed, but I've had a lot of the dabblings commenting that the Megabots have made it a little bit laggy. But we'll just have to go and find out, because the hummingbird is off to battle. Let's jump into this. Now, apparently, we also get a lot more information here. This is fantastic. Little ad there telling us about the different bots that you can buy, or the different cosmetic things that you can buy, which, you know, is fine. And welcome back. I had to do an emergency abort whilst queuing up for the last battle, as I realised that I hadn't got my my chat turned on. I disabled it whilst I was just tooling around in the mothership. Good luck, have fun. Oh, that would have been very undapper of me. My lord, we've got a long countdown time here. Is that new, or is this just a really long load-in? Also, we've got all kinds of other things. I don't know what that F stands for. That's pretty interesting. We'll have to check that out at some point. Now, I believe I mentioned that there have been some changes, some balances to the weapons. For example, SMGs do, on the whole, 15% more damage, but have a much higher damage, or much more aggressive damage fall-off for range. So, whilst they have become even more specialized in close combat, they have lost a lot more of their range. Also, most of the maps have been redrawn in some way or another. You'll notice that the maps are much more interesting now. I'm really liking it. Also, the edges, the wall edges, are much more clearly defined as well. As you can see there, they show up much sooner as well, so you don't tend to miss out and bump into it before you realize that you're actually getting that close to it anymore, which is very nice. I'm going to have to try and adjust to the way this wobbles, because it's throwing my plasma aim off terribly. A medic copter? Oh no, that is something I had not thought about. That sounds delightful. It's also dead, but it sounded delightful until I killed it. Let's get you, shall we? Oh, that was a direct hit. I took off half his health in one shot. About there? No, that's going to be a miss. That is a shame. But the fact that I'm more or less stable here is wonderful. About there. Bingo! I'm pretty pleased with myself for that one. He'll be finished off. Team victory! Fantastic. I only got one kill and I forgot to hit GG. A couple of the other things that have been brought in. Rails now have a slightly longer delay between each shot. That is pretty nice. 12,000 RP for our victory there. And this is only tier 5. But rails have just under a second's worth of delay between shots. You can't fire any faster than that. I think it's 0.95 seconds artificial delay between each shot. So you can't just rapid fire tap your mouse and just unleash a barrage, a full array of rail cannons at the enemy. So that is going to increase the survivability of many, many bots, I imagine. And you know what? I'm not using these rotor blades nearly as well as I should. I can attach them at 6 positions. Or is it 5? No, it's 4. Sorry, it's 5 positions. The 4 around and then the 1 beneath. I really should try to capitalize on that because it's going to allow me to increase the survivability of the blocks quite a lot. Maybe I could lift this up, but maybe I would also benefit from some thrusters on this. Oh, there are so many things that I could do. I really did like the idea of the medic copter, because that's something that I typically dislike about flyers, is that they have to be in motion too often to maintain any sort of real height, otherwise they basically face plant. As a result, you can't come down and then just kind of land nearby someone, at least unless you've got skis or something like that, then it's quite possible. But to medic someone on the ground, you've got to basically crash in order to medic them. But the copter would not have that issue, and I'm really looking forward to that. And yes, there is a mirror line now. It automatically runs directly down the middle of the ship. If I place this there, it'll place it on both sides. It is intelligent. It knows how to work the corners, etc., etc. I forgot to use it earlier on, but it isn't a mirror line that you can customize. For example, I can't press it here and have it appear over here. It only runs directly down the middle of this arrow. You can't orientate it in any other way, but still, that is absolutely amazing. It should make making symmetrical bots so much easier from now on. But I'm pretty happy with what we've got here, even though I built it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to have to get into the habit of trying to use the mirror line. There are many more things that the patch has brought out, and I will no doubt discuss them over the next few episodes. I'm probably going to record them back to back right now. I am really liking this. This is something new that I can play with, and it's been a little while since we've had something completely new. And as we saw, I think we're going to see a lot of helicopter blades in most tiers for a little while as everyone else plays around with them as well. But that is going to be it from me and, of course, from the Hummingbird for this episode. So I do hope you liked it and will be joining us for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.